Prime time. A week ago Thursday night, right, Doug Flutie, birthday boy this weekend, just 36 years old, tries to make it 2 for 2 and start as the Bills play the Panthers. One of the most amazing feats this year is that the Oakland Raiders are get out the schneid, beat Doug Flutie. Greene with 11 sacks this year, and Greene says, you know what, that little big man, I love him.
I judge a man's heart. And the man scrambles, he makes things happen, he plays hard, he doesn't tank it, and he's a good player. So I respect him for that, regardless of whether he's not 6'5" and can throw the ball 80 yards. That doesn't matter.
Tonight at 8:15 Eastern, Doug Flutie and the Bills try to win their 4th straight in Carolina. It was to be a battle of the undefeated.
Thanks, Chris. Welcome to Charlotte, where tonight the Carolina Panthers battle the magic of Doug Flutie and the red-hot Buffalo Bills on ESPN Sunday Night Football.
Are you ready for some football?
Doug Flutie has battled them all. Incredible odds, football exile, and the stigma of size. But the Magic Man still amazes and excites all who watch.
Flutie rolling out, and he is in for the touchdown. Can you believe it?
I established myself in Canada. I won 3 championships. There wasn't a lot more to prove up there. I wanted to come down here and take the next challenge and try to take that run at the Super Bowl.
Flutie's play has Buffalo rolling and back in the hunt in the AFC East.
It is unbelievable. Hit it! Come on, man, hit it! Come on and get ready! I mean, really ready! Are you ready for some football? A Sunday night showdown! Yeah, the Panthers and the Bills go at it in a Carolina hold-down. The stadium is rocking with all my rowdy friends. It's Sunday night football on ESPN. Let's launch this thing now.
Charlotte, North Carolina on a cool, crisp October evening, and right in the middle of downtown, Ericsson Stadium, where a sellout crowd of over 73,000 is here looking for a Panther victory #1 and to check out the exciting Doug Flutie. Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick, along with Joe Theismann and Paul McGuire. It's great to have you with us. Buffalo comes in 3-3 after a winless September. They are undefeated in October and looking to go 4-0 to end the month. And Joe, right in the middle of all that excitement, a name from the past, Doug Flutie.
He really is a name from the past, Mike. He spent 6 MVP seasons up in the Canadian Football League. Actually played 8 MVP in 6 of them. He's brought a magic to this Buffalo Bill football team where everybody believes in what he does. He's an improvisational scrambler. When he gets out and tries to make plays, there's never a dead play. He is the leader of this football team right now. He's taken over, done an excellent job. And when you talk to the players, they believe in Flutie mania.
On the other side, the Carolina Panthers are living proof of how fast things can change in the NFL. Just 2 years ago, they were in the NFC Championship game. Since then, 7-9 last year, 0-6 this year. How does Dom Capers get that elusive first victory, Paul?
Well, it's very simple. You just run the football and you have to block Bruce Smith. Now, Carolina Panthers are dead last in the National Football League in rushing the football. 69 yards per game, and only 2 of their offensive linemen have started all 6 games. They need to be committed to run the football. Now, Blake Brockemeyer will start at left offensive tackle. He's coming off an injury. He's not 100%, and the only job he has to do tonight is block Bruce Smith. Good luck, Blake.
All right, Paul, you can bet Bruce Smith is eager for the battle, while Steve Beuerlein just eager for that first win. It's all next on ESPN Sunday Night Football.
Due to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Back to Ericsson Stadium. Let's check in on the sideline with Solomon Wilcott.
Thanks, Mike. Coach Capers, defending a quarterback like Doug Flutie offers a very unique talent. What concerns you most about his special abilities? Well, number one, you have to stay active in both the rush and coverage because of his ability to improvise and make the big play. Now, Steve Beuerlein has done well filling in since the departure of Kerry Collins. The running game has struggled. What must their team do in order to come away with a win tonight?
Well, I think that's the key. We have to run the ball better, and we have to do a better job of stopping the run and then find a way to make a play in the fourth quarter to win the game.
All right, thanks, Coach. Mike, let's send it back upstairs to you.
All right, Solomon, thanks very much. And there's Wade Phillips, third year as an NFL head coach. His first was the Buffalo Bills, trying to go over 500 and sweep the month of October. John Casey to kick to Eric Moulds and Kevin Williams. Williams, number 6 in the AFC in kickoff return. 2 yards deep, he'll bring it out. Hit at the 15, dump at the 16. For Buffalo's offense, Doug Flutie making the most of his second NFL chance. 5 touchdowns, only 1 pick, the number 4 ranking in the AFC. The second-year man, Smith, now the featured back in an offense committed to the run. Reed, number 3 all-time in NFL reception. Up front, Brown has been to the last 2 Pro Bowls. Panos was signed from the Eagles to add some toughness. Smith on the delay, nowhere to go. Picks up maybe 2. The Carolina defense has had trouble stopping the run. Gilbert had ended in the 3-4, not the impact player he was in a 4-3. It's a linebacker-oriented system, and Kevin Greene has the NFL lead in sacks with 11 on a pace for a record 29. Injuries have weakened what should have been a great secondary. Evans has been playing with one hand. Alexander has been forced to move to strong safety. Kevin Greene with just a remarkable season so far. Flutie with time. Flutie. That's why they have fallen in love with him in Buffalo.
There's no such thing as a bad play when Doug Flutie drops back to pass. He's so quick for a guy supposedly his age. Watch the quickness that he shows. He's still looking downfield. Now he seizes the opportunity to run.
Reuben Brown, 79 on Sean Gilbert. That's his old roommate from college. Look at this. They're blocking. They keep Sean Gilbert inside along with Fina. That's just good blocking by the offensive line.
3rd and a yard. Flutie on a naked boot. Shovel pass. Reamersma. First down. Oh, he's showing you the whole playbook on the first series.
How much more can one man do? First time he scrambles and runs for a first down. Now he puts the defender in an absolute bind. Greg Lloyd just doesn't know what to do. Do I come after Flutie? Okay, now let me go after him. He just flips it out. Tight end makes the play. Here, watch this. This is a push pass. We've defined a new type of throwing in the National Football League. A push pass.
I'm sitting there looking at Lloyd thinking, and Lloyd just turned around and put his hands up like, what am I supposed to do?
Joan and Richard Flutie have made the trip to watch their son perform in his second consecutive NFL start. Flutie again. They got him, but he picked up 2. Kevin Greene led the charge for the Carolina defense. He has fired up the Buffalo area so much simply because of plays like this. He has a magic about him. He always has. Ever since that Hail Mary at Boston College, people have expected the miracle from Doug Flutie. And there's Rob Johnson, the starting quarterback until he was hurt. Flutie says, I'm number 2. It is Rob Johnson's football team. Finally, a conventional play as Antoine Smith gets a couple.
You mean him running around is not conventional?
No, well, it is for him.
That's what I was just going to say. The thing that has to be established tonight by the Buffalo Bills, they have to establish some type of a running game in order for the Carolina defense not to tee off and match up linebackers on Doug Flutie's attempted running lane. It's very important that Wade Phillips' football team is able to pound out some first downs.
Thurman Thomas in his new role as the 3rd down back is on the field, and we have a Carolina Panther down. And it's inside linebacker Jeff Brady. Was number 2 on this team in tackles. He came in with bad ribs. May have re-injured them. We'll check on his condition when we come back.
Now, Mr. Wells, we're going to monitor your thoughts. Listen carefully.
It looks like Brady has a cut behind his ear. He's being tended on the sideline. 3rd and 6. This is where Carolina has suffered this year. They are 28th in the NFL on 3rd down. Their defense simply hasn't been able to get off the field. Flutie with time, throws complete, and diving for the first down, Eric Moulds. There is a marker down on the play.
Holding, number 33 of the defense. Penalty is declined. The result of the play is first down.
Doug Evans, the right corner.
I'm going to tell you what, Joe. I don't care how much magic you have. I don't care how tall or how short you are. I don't care what you weigh. If you have that much time to throw a football, you're going to find someone open.
Yeah, Doug Flutie is a pro quarterback. You give him time, he's going to hurt you.
Thurman Thomas remains in on first down. And now Carolina is going to use a timeout. Opening possession of the ball game. The Bills are moving.
It is called Mercury, the most sophisticated national security code.
Doug Flutie listed at 5'10". The wrap on him, Joe Theismann. He can't throw over opposing linemen.
Mike, a lot of people can't throw over opposing linemen. As we look at the ESPN pre-play, the objective is to throw through lanes. Doug Flutie's listed at 5'10". He's really not that big, but so what? His offensive line is 6'3½". They're probably 6'4". So what? The key here is when he drops back that those linemen create throwing lanes and that the receivers, as they run their routes, also hold themselves into the lanes to give Doug an opportunity to find them. That is the key to him being successful as a quarterback.
That last play, Carolina had only 2 players on the field. That's why they used the timeout. Flutie straight back, unloads for Moulds, and he got it. What a catch at the 20. He beat Doug Evans 31 yards. What a catch.
What a terrific throw over the outside shoulder. But Eric Moulds is working on Doug Evans. Remember, Evans only has one hand to work with. He releases. He can't get a jam on him. That's his strength. So Moulds is running basically uncontested. Terrific job of keeping your feet in and focusing on the ball.
Not a bad throw, huh?
No, not a bad throw at all. Gets both feet down.
Flutie so far, 3 out of 3, 50 yards. He's rushed for another 10. Over the middle, behind, caught by Moulds. Touchdown. Evans had a shot at it off his hands, and Moulds catches.
I'll tell you, here's one that Flutie gets away with. This, I mean, if Evans has got 2 hands, this is a great possibility for an interception. Doug Evans' left hand has got a cast on it, and it's hindered him all year since he broke it. But watch this throw. If Doug Evans has 2 hands, he makes this interception. It bounces off his chest, but great concentration by Eric Moulds to get the touchdown.
The point after by Christie is good. And the Buffalo Bills march the length of the field to start the game and take a 7-0 lead.
Mount McKinley, the unlikely backdrop.
Doug Evans on the sideline. He has really been troubled by that cast on his hand. It has really affected his coverage, and it obviously affected the way he tried to catch that football. Got into his body, popped up in the air, and it was a touchdown. Christie to kick to Oliver and Bates. Bates from the 9 with blinding speed. Cut down at the 26. Solomon Wilcots down on the sideline was an excellent defensive back. It's tough enough to play with 2 hands, Solomon. How about 1?
Yeah, Mike, that's right. You know, Ever since Panthers cornerback Doug Evans sustained a dislocation to his left thumb earlier this season, well, it has prohibited him from playing his normal physical brand of bump and run coverage. Here you see a healthy Doug Evans without a cast, getting his hands on Detroit wide receiver Herman Moore. Every coach will tell you in bump and run coverage, it's essential for a cornerback to get his hands on the receiver. He should have had the interception, but the cast didn't allow him to do so.
Fred Lane on 1st and 10, and Lane barrels across the 30 to about the 32. Doug Evans, a tremendous free agent acquisition from the Green Bay Packers. And with Eric Davis at the other corner, they figured they were really set in the secondary.
It's made it hard for him to go into the one-on-one packages they wanted to on the corner and be able to put a lot of multiple looks and pressure on quarterbacks.
2nd and 4. And tonight they want to run the football. Holisek, nice tackle. The Panthers offense now run by Steve Beuerlein. He's thrown the ball very well with a quarterback rating that's now over 100. Lane has been frustrated with few chances in the running game, but Ismail and Muhammad are putting up better numbers. Injuries along the line have been the major problem. Only Lucina and David Garrido have started every game this year. Anthony Johnson checks in as the 3rd down back. 3rd and 5. Beuerlein under pressure and throws incomplete, intended for the Rocket. Marcellus Wiley coming hard from the left side.
Again, you're just looking at a situation where Beuerlein, when you don't have enough time to look down the field and you know that pass rush is coming, Marcellus Wiley, number 75, Bruce Smith, number 78, they were both coming. He had to get rid of it.
Ken Walters, averaging only 40.8, and that's 14th in the conference. To kick to Williams. Beautiful high kick. Fair catch, called for and made. It's a 28, a punt of 41, and no return. We've got a timeout on the field. The Bills by a touchdown.
She's fire.
He's ice.
She's passionate.
He's perfect.
I'm Red Wings.
I'm Rangers.
Culture Class.
So we called 1-800.
ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by OnNet from MCI WorldCom, your one connection to the world. By Residence Inn. By Marriott. Room to relax, room to work, room to breathe. By Sunny Delight. Reach for the good stuff, reach for the sun. And by Mercedes-Benz. Buffalo starts from its own 27-yard line. Smith on the toss. Sam Gash in front, cuts it back, and picks up 2 to the 29.
Doug Flutie had a drive on his last drive, the last possession that Buffalo had the ball, where most guys don't put this many plays together in a half a season. He does it in one drive. The first one he starts by scrambling. Looks downfield, doesn't have anybody, so he uses his legs, picks up the first down. Then he does the old push pass. We've renamed a new one. Perfect pass to Eric Moulds down the sideline, and then a rebound for a touchdown. That's quite a first drive.
Not a bad start. 2nd and 8. Smith, running room. Across the 40, 45, midfield. Antoine Smith finally stopped by Brent Alexander, but it's a gain of 21.
You know, we talked to Antoine Smith about following Sam Gash, number 33, and the Buffalo Bills went out and got him on the offseason. Watch number 33 and watch what Antoine Smith does. He sees the block outside, but he sees the hole inside. So he told us yesterday, if that hole is on the inside, I'm going to take it.
He took that one for 21. It's another first down for the Bills. Smith again. A couple this time. Keep in mind, Buffalo's record may be only 3-3, but in 2 of the last 3 weeks, they have knocked off undefeated teams, San Francisco and Jacksonville.
What they really started to do is their passing game has started to get better. Wade Phillips feels like his defense is now starting to come into its own. They're playing very well as a football team, and when you talk to Bruce Smith, he said very simply, hey, the difference in our football team is the attitude that we put forward.
Joe Pendry, who was the offensive coordinator here in Carolina. dismissal of the season. Flutie, incomplete. His first incompletion of the game, again intended for Moulds, and Evans out there on the coverage.
Wasn't it interesting talking to Flutie yesterday and you know, just knowing him and coming down here after being in Canada, Joe, we asked him, said, do you feel like every single game you have to prove yourself? And he looked, yes, he said, I really do. I think that, you know, I'm always under the microscope for every game I play.
Yeah, because no matter what he does, people are going to say, well, he did it because he's this or because he's too small. And he handles the pressure tremendously.
3rd and 7. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Flutie with time and throws a strike. It's a first down to Kevin Williams. His 11th catch of the year, and Eric Davis took him out of bounds, a gain of 19.
Watch number 85, Jay Reamersmont. He comes out, and he's going to chip on Kevin Greene. This is how they block him. Remember now, he's a tight end. Wham! They take Kevin Greene here. Now Kevin Greene doesn't have a chance to get back here.
Now, Kevin Greene has really taken, Kevin Williams has taken over the slot position for Andre Reed and given him a little bit more speed and quickness at that position.
Flag is down as Thurman Thomas goes out of bounds around the 16-yard line. This one may come back. Let's see. And it will.
Illegal formation. End is not up on the line of scrimmage. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
That's one of those Canadian formations that Doug every now and then has flashbacks, and he gets guys lined up in different positions.
Penalties have hurt the Bills.
Well, on that play, they had Thurman Thomas split out, and he was the guy that didn't get up on the line of scrimmage. I mean, has he really accepted his role as basically the third down back?
Thurman Thomas hitting the backfield. He'll lose yardage. And that was because Greg Lloyd was right there. ESPN Sunday Night Football continues next week with a major battle in the AFC West. Tim Brown and the Raiders head to Seattle to take on Ricky Watters and the Seahawks. Join Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, and me right after prime time at 8:15 Eastern. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive networks for primetime NFL football. 2nd and 18. Thomas remains in the game. 3 wide receivers. Flutie with the out, throws another strike to the 25-yard line. That's Andre Reed.
What the Buffalo Bills are doing is they're putting Doug Flutie in the shotgun to give him an opportunity to see the lanes, to see the field a little bit easier. It's something they do with him that they don't necessarily do with Rob Johnson. But it allows him to be back away from the line. It's a little bit easier for him to see the zone. And I got to believe that Carolina is going to have to commit some people to go after him and get in his throwing lane. They can't leave him stand back there and just pick the secondary apart.
Well, he's already 6 out of 7 for 101 yards and a touchdown. 3rd and 6 here. Flutie rifles this one for Williams, but it's incomplete.
Have you got a shot from a low-end zone to show how hard it is?
Here comes the field goal team. Steve Christie will attempt to make it a 10-0 lead. And this will be a 43-yard attempt. Christie is at 7 of 11 this season. This one through the heart of the uprights. And the Buffalo Bills have scored on consecutive possessions and lead 10-0.
Now, Mr. Wells, we're going to monitor your thoughts. Listen carefully. Your boss wants to have a talk with you. You're being audited. It's 110 degrees in rush hour traffic. You're stuck.
That's provided by the Southwest Airlines Aerial Cam, high above Erickson Stadium for ESPN Sunday Night Football. It's the Nation's Bank Building in downtown Charlotte. Beautiful city, particularly at night. Christie floats one to the near side. Winslow Oliver from the 6. A seam up the middle, nailed as he got to the 24. The Buffalo defense shows both a 4-3 and a 3-4, but the constant is the excellent play of Washington, Hanson, and the future Hall of Famer Smith. At linebacker, John Holosek, the team's leading tackler. He's played so well in the middle, he received a big contract extension last weekend. In the secondary, Irvin and Smith, pretty good cover guys to the corners, and Jones at strong safety, a very aggressive player. Bruce Smith, 3.5 sacks so far, number 2 all time. Beuerlein, short set, throws. Mohammed has it at the 31-yard line.
Carolina has to establish some type of control on offense and keep the ball a little bit. First of all, to give its defense some rest. And Dom Capers, even though he wants to run the football, Steve Beuerlein is an excellent quarterback if you want to run a controlled passing game like Gil Haskell, the coordinator from Green Bay, who's come here, has implemented.
They are 4th in the NFL in passing, dead last in rushing. And they'll whistle this play dead.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 85. 5 yards. It's still second down.
And that's the guy you don't expect to make the mistake, the veteran Wesley Walls, the tight end. He's another Carolina Panther playing with a cast. Not featured nearly as much as he used to be in this offense.
I saw him warming up, and that cast doesn't seem to be bothering him very much.
Second and 7 after the penalty. Beuerlein, another short set. This one to the rocket up to the 39-yard line. And he's brought down by Thomas Smith.
Rocky, this is about number 81. Thomas Smith told us yesterday, I'm going to play up on these guys. They're going to have to beat me deep. And this play here, the rocket came inside. That was just a beautiful pass by Beuerlein.
Those are the kind of plays that set up defensive backs to bite and then try and go up top on them.
Floyd up the middle after they fake the toss. And Floyd will get about 3. Sean Price and Gabe Northern on the tackle for Buffalo.
William Floyd was brought here because he's familiar with this offense. And the fullback in a quote-unquote West Coast-style offense usually is an excellent receiver, gets his share of carries. So far this year, William Floyd only has 11 receptions and just 13 carries prior to that. He has got to become a bigger part of this offense as well for it to be productive.
And it's the main reason he left San Francisco. He was just tired of being used as a blocking back. Beuerlein, another short set. The rocket in the flat. Nice tackle by Ken Irvin.
On the coverage, Ken Irvin.
Gil Haskell has become the offensive coordinator, came down from Green Bay. He came here specifically to improve Carolina's passing game. And they have. They've been much more proficient. Their wide receivers have now become threats in their offense. The problem that they've had is they lived with an old running back offense style. He's going to modify that in the not too distant future as well.
3rd and 3. Out of the eye. Play action by Beuerlein. Floyd can't hold it in the flat. Would have been a first down.
Which one of you guys said excellent pass receiver? You?
I did, but go ahead. Go ahead.
So, this ball is a little bit high.
Oh, thank you.
It is. If Beuerlein puts the ball way to the outside, look at Floyd. He's got to reach for it. Still, he gets 2 hands on the ball. He should have caught it.
I agree with you, but I think, you know something? He was almost too open. If you're a quarterback and a guy is that open, so often you get out of your rhythm and the ball sails a little bit on you, and I think that's what happened.
Paul apparently just laying in wait tonight for either one of us. Good thing is, Paul, you don't have to wait long. Fair catch made at the 18 after a punt of 35. ESPN's college football lineup for next Saturday begins at 11 a.m. with College Game Day. Then at noon, you'll see Michigan battling Minnesota, and at 7:30, North Carolina takes on ACC rival Florida State. Our college football schedule on ESPN for this coming Saturday. Halloween coming out early.
here at Erickson Stadium. Well, defensively, Carolina's got to put something together. The Bills have had the ball 2 possessions, one 7 points, the other one 3 points. They got to start slowing them down. Antoine Smith is the single setback with Gash on a wing. Smith. And if you're wondering what that gold-colored line on the field is, it is our latest technical innovation called ESPN's First and 10, a visual reference for you to always know the yard line an offense has to reach for a first down. First and 10 exclusively on ESPN. Second and 6 for the Bills. Flutie to Moulds. Boy, Doug Evans was right there. Moulds knew he was going to be drilled, and he made the catch. Moulds is a great story because the first 2 years with injuries, he gave them virtually nothing.
He really did, Mike, and now you take a look at a guy who's a hands catcher. Here comes the throwing lane. There's the lane that Flutie has to throw through. Moulds doesn't quite work himself up to where Flutie wanted him, but he manages to reach out and just snatch the ball for the reception.
He used to drop the ball an awful lot. Showing great hands on that one, 3rd and 1. Lloyd right in the hole. They will not get it.
Was this a wonderful play by the linebacker, number 95, Greg Lloyd. I mean, he steps up. He's looking at Thurman Thomas. They know on 3rd and short, Thurman usually gets it. You're trying to block Lloyd with a wide receiver, Kevin Williams. That isn't going to work, and look at this stop. That's perfect.
Greg Lloyd was brought in this year as insurance, and it has certainly paid off. Lamar Latham injured his knees on IR very early, and Lloyd has been starting at that spot. Oliver signals fair catch and makes it at the 31. A punt of 40 yards, and the crowd saw the room he had and didn't like the decision.
You know it's bad when you boo the punt returner. There's a lot of other things you can boo.
Yeah, that's way down on the list, isn't it?
It's like 17
your
down.
boo list. It's like, right, 17, 18.
Well, they're ready here at 0-6 after only 2 years ago being in the NFC Championship game. They have had such high expectations and been so disappointed. 10-6, you really got to believe. Fred Lane. Solid tackle by the rookie Sam Coward out of Florida State. He has been very impressive when he's had a chance to play. 20.
Get ready to fall into action.
Everybody know what to do?
Oh, yeah. Flutie fever has struck upstate New York, and Paul, I know you're affected because you live there.
But, you know, everybody is just, they're really excited about this guy. You see signs Flutie for president. I mean, everything he's done. But what he does to the fans is, as soon as he runs with the ball, they just go crazy.
The thing is, when we spoke to Andre Reed yesterday, he said, you know, when you're on the field with him, it's just an awful lot of fun. And the thing is, you don't know where he's going to be or where the ball's coming out from. He keeps everybody on their toes on offense.
First thing Bruce Smith said, I don't care about his size, I care about his heart. Beuerlein under pressure. Nice throw down the middle. That's complete to tight end Wesley Wall. Gain of 23.
I said it doesn't bother him catching the ball. Now he goes back and catches this ball with his right hand. He makes the right hand turn, and he'll come back and catch the ball. I mean, he knows he's got a bad left hand, but watch what Walls does. He'll turn back and catch it with his right hand, and it's a perfect throw.
Beuerlein, if he had enough attempts, would have the 3rd highest passer rating in the NFC. He has played extremely well. Fred Lane. And Lane is one of the guys who is most frustrated on this offensive team because he doesn't think he gets a chance to run the ball enough. The Panthers
have run the ball the least of any team in the NFL. Only a third of their plays have been run plays.
Mike, it's so hard to establish any kind of a consistent running game when you don't have a consistent offensive line. They've been decimated up front. They continue to shuffle people through just to try and find some combination that Dom Capers can get some kind of efficiency out of.
2nd and 6. Lane. Boy, he hit the hole in a hurry and is very close to a first down. They needed to reach the 32. It depends on the mark.
As we said before, running the football is an attitude. Stoltenberg and Garcia on Washington. Washington is 92. Watch this double team. They're going to take him down the line of scrimmage, and Lane just cuts it back into the lane. But again, in order to run the football, I don't care that there's only been 2 offensive linemen that started all 6 games. It is an attitude. You must believe that you can run.
They'll try to get it on the ground, and Fred Lane powers his way straight up the middle. Ted Washington with the stop, but that is a first down.
But I wouldn't run at Washington too often.
Now, sooner or later, he's going to honker down, and you're not moving him. I'm going to show you what honkering down is. That means that you just drop your bottom and set those big legs in the ground. There he is right in the middle. That's honkering right there. I own this space. You're not going anywhere.
Stoltenberg's feet, they went back the other way.
Go on.
Armed with a brand new contract after 124 tackles last year and was named the team's MVP. Beuerlein on first down. Is it a catch at the 17? Did Muhammad come up with it? No call yet. The officials huddling.
4 guys have not made a call yet. Nobody gave any signal, but they're spotting the ball.
Well, you know what they did? Really, there were 4 guys there, Joe, but they all looked at each other to see, did anybody see the ball hit the ground? I think this is an excellent call. When you look at each one, here's the ball coming in. He goes down, Muhammad makes a great catch. What all 4 officials did was they looked at each other, did you see it hit? Did you see it hit? And no one did. It's a catch.
Fred Lane is out as a flanker on this one. Beuerlein under pressure, and Floyd drops it. William Floyd may be frustrated because he doesn't get the ball enough, but if he drops those, they're not going to throw him anymore.
Well, I'm not going to jump on you guys.
You gave me that look.
But here it is. I mean, Beuerlein does a great job getting to the outside. He throws the ball. You've got to catch these. That's twice the ball's hit him in 2 hands. Not 1 hand, but both hands.
And he's not wearing a cast.
No. Great point.
Lane tries to cut it outside. Doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Holosek led the charge. Sam Rogers was also there. We have not mentioned the name of Bruce Smith after a play. I tell you what, Brockemeyer, playing on a bad leg, is doing a heck of a job against him.
And a little bit of that has to do with the fact that the Carolina Panthers on offense have established some semblance of a running game. Fred Lane has been able to find some spaces to go, some places to go. That's the best way to neutralize Bruce Smith. Don't give him shots at your quarterback.
3rd and 10. Beuerlein with time over the middle, complete down to the 5. That'll be another first down. Muhammad tackled by Manny Martin. Beuerlein has been on fire.
Frank Garcia, number 65, blocking on Bruce Smith. Watch this. The whole defensive line, they're at the line of scrimmage.
Musa Muhammad has just continued to get better and better, does a nice job of establishing separation, and then catches the ball with his hands. You love to see a guy use his hands. You're going to catch a lot more with your hands than you are with your body.
1st and goal for the Panthers. Fred Lane inside the 1 before he's forced back by Holosek and Manny Martin.
Well, we're talking about Bruce Smith, and Brockemeyer is going to have to block him, but he's going to get some help from Garcia, Frank Garcia, number 65. Watch this. They double down, but Brockemeyer gets him on his knees, and once you get Bruce down, that's it. It's over there. And here comes the run.
Second and goal inside the 1. Carolina trying to cut into a 10-point lead. Lane behind Floyd. No signal. It's third down. Holosek again.
What a play by Holosek. He runs all the way around this play to just manage to grab Lane by the feet. He comes running all the way around to make this play. Watch number 50. He's going to go all the way around to make the tackle over here. He sees the hold. He times the count. Now there he goes, circling the wagons, and dives in and grabs his feet. That's why I got the new deal.
Sometimes you find guys by accident. He replaced Chris Spielman. He was an afterthought. Third and goal. Floyd. They crossed him up and gave the ball to the fullback.
The flag is against Buffalo. Bruce Smith was offside. This is a touchdown.
That's a nice call there.
Well, let's go back to Brockemeyer and Garcia. 78-65. That's just an extra block in the middle. They cut off Washington.
Now, once you seal the middle, you don't need much of a crack down around the goal line to get in the end zone.
Casey for the point after. And the Carolina Panthers back within 3 at Ericsson Stadium in Charlotte.
In the financial world.
ESPN Sunday Night Football brought to you by DirecTV. What are you looking at? By Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By First Union, your guide to the financial world. And by NFL Blitz. No refs, no rules, no mercy. 10-7. The Panthers have cut into that lead with 8:52 to go in the half. Casey kicks it away. Williams from the 9. And can only get back to the 20. Lenny McGill makes the stop. Bruce Smith has been quiet for that Buffalo defense.
Back in college, the three of us never missed an Indiana game. And today we...
Ralph Wilson, the owner of the Buffalo Bills, who has been enjoying the month of October to no end after that slow start, seeing his team trying to win its 4th in a row. Flutie under pressure, got it to Smith, and that one is going to lose yardage. Jason Peters had one leg of Doug Flutie and wouldn't let go.
Doug Flutie, as he goes back, tries to avoid the rush of Jason Peters. He sets, he looks, now he's trying to slide, but he has enough presence to be able to get some kind of grasp on the ball and just shot put it out end over end.
Jason Peters was almost ready to say, make a wish, little fella. Trying to change the play, and Thurman Thomas can't hear it. Drilled by Mike Barrow. ESPN2's college football lineup for this Saturday at noon. Northwestern takes on Michigan State. At 6, Boston College against Miami. And at 9, Wyoming battles TCU. You think Doug Flutie will be watching a Boston College Miami game?
That was some kind of finish.
3rd and 12. Moulds! You won't catch him. Eric Moulds, touchdown. 82 yards. What a throw by Flutie. What an incredible throw by Doug Flutie.
The route is, Moulds manages to get on top of the defense. That's key in a corner pattern. He's on top of Evans. Again, Evans can't jam him. Now all he can do is try and run with him. Watch the ball come in. Just over the top, and he's not going to get caught.
You know, we asked Flutie about Doug Evans and that broken hand. He said, we're going there. There's no reason for us not to. And if you look at Moulds, he goes inside Doug Evans on his left side where he can't get a hold of him.
Christie with the point after. In 1.5 quarters, Eric Moulds has 5 catches, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns from 5'9" Doug Flutie.
I gotta watch that game.
Doug Flutie's parents have known the magic all their lives, but other people are just now catching on. And this one will go out of bounds and give the Carolina Panthers great field position on the special teams error.
1st and 10.
Look at Eric Moulds on Doug Evans. Doug Evans has got the cast on the left side. I know this is a corner route, but look where he takes him. He takes him way outside, and then he goes inside him where he can't get his hands on him. And then once that happens, Moulds is already behind. But look where the pass is, Joe.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. He brings it right in over the top. Defenders will always try and cut the corners off, and he brought it back in towards the field.
It's been a long time since they have had a complimentary receiver to Andre Reed. They've got it now in Moulds. Fred Lane. Manny Martin takes him out of bounds, but not until he reaches inside the 40-yard line. A gain of 21 for Fred Lane.
I said before this ball game, if Carolina wants to win this game, they've got to run the football, and running the football is an attitude.
And you've got to get some blocking out of your tight end if you're going to run it. Wesley Walls, number 85 on Sam Rogers, 59. Even though he's got the bad hand, he manages to get the right on him and lock up. Now Martin just has to take a good angle to try and stop Lane from going the distance.
They are averaging 68.7 yards a game on the ground. They already have 50. Beuerlein gets it out in a hurry. The catch made by the Rocket, and he's brought down by Ken Irvin.
Rocket Ismail is a guy who was reborn here in Carolina. When he got traded from Oakland here, he thought it was the worst thing that could happen to him. Oh, my goodness. And he's just continued to get better and better. He looks much more comfortable. He's very productive for Dom Capers, and he's really dangerous. If you get him a short pass, he makes somebody miss. He's going to be gone.
Both he and Muhsin Muhammad having very good years in this winless 0-6 season. Lane. Washington hit him first, and a little Fred Lane still manages to get down to the 29-yard line.
You know, this is about a 2.5-yard run by Fred Lane, but he makes this thing happen. He's hit about 4 times, but the thing that keeps him going are his feet. And if you keep your feet going, good things will happen.
There's another guy that has great feet, Barry Sanders, who happens to be the guy that he's tried to model himself after. Not a bad model.
No. If you're going to pick one, that's the one to start with. Third and a yard. And they'll blow this play dead.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 65, 5 yards. It's still 3rd down.
It's Frank Garcia, the left guard, and that's about the first mistake the offensive line has made tonight.
You know, they've been playing so well that they take a 6.5-minute drive. They go down and put 7 points on the board, bring them back into the football game, and then you got 3rd and about a half a yard, and you make a dumb mistake.
Garcia really playing out of position. He moved from center. They've gone through some centers this year. It started in our final preseason game against Pittsburgh. Beuerlein, Muhammad can't hold it. Separated by Manny Martin. Martin is in for the injured Kurt Schultz. He played very well a week ago, and that was a big play there.
Well, Muhammad does just a terrific job of beating Thomas Smith off the line of scrimmage to get into the void between the double zones. Beuerlein sees it right away, and he fires it into the void. As Muhammad goes up, probably would have been a catch if he was able to hang on to it, because he would have been knocked out of bounds by the defender, but he doesn't get both feet down. Good defensive play.
Bad step, they can't get it down. And the punter, Walter, throwing it downfield, would have been a 52-yard field goal, but they couldn't handle the snap.
You see the Holosick, what he did? I mean, you talk about heads-up football by a linebacker. Holosick, number 52, instead of catching the ball, which would have been the ball there, he knocked it down.
After the botched field goal attempt, Buffalo will take over at its 35. Smith lost his footing and went to the 39.
Well, the two things happen on this play. Ken Walter, by throwing the ball, saves his team, Carolina, about 14 yards. There's John Holosick, and what he does, instead of catching the ball, he knocks the ball down, which he, well, all right, here we go. Ken Walter, watch what he does. He throws the ball, which saves his team 14 yards. Holosick knocks the ball away, saves his team about 6 yards.
Flutie on the naked boot, being chased by Sean Gilbert. And dives for the stick, so does Greg Lloyd.
Sean Gilbert got caught one of those things like, uh-oh.
Well, he did it to Greg Lloyd before. When you get Flutie naked on the corner and it's you and him, he has so many options. Gilbert actually does a good job, holds his position, but I think you underestimate how fast and quick Doug really is. Of course, that's been the story of his career, totally underestimated.
He's smart, too. He knows Sean Gilbert's 318 pounds, and he's getting to the sideline. Flutie under pressure. That one is picked up by Kevin Greene. Greene with the coverage on Antoine Smith, and he made a heck of a play.
And that was a very bad interception, and the reason why it was on 1st and 10. Those, to me, are the worst that you can possibly throw.
You know, there's only so many things you can possibly do, and I agree with Joe. There's times to throw it away. Well, look at Kevin Greene in coverage. He's got his eye on Flutie. He's got his eye on Antoine Smith, and that's just a great interception, going down for the ball.
Sometimes you try and make a little too much out of plays.
Only the second interception of the year for Doug Flutie. He knew it was a bad throw, and he didn't get away with it. Rice for Carolina in Buffalo territory. Beuerlein to Lane in the flat. Well, it was covered beautifully by Thomas Smith. Came up from the corner in a hurry. Kevin Greene, you say anything about guys who get down with an 0-6 record. Kevin Greene may be depressed because of the 0-6 record, but it doesn't mean you don't get 100% on every single play. He is a delight to watch. Fred Lane got to the outside, and again, Thomas Smith with the big play. Carolina, of course, winless in the first 6. We asked Kevin Greene how they turn things around.
What you got to do is you just got to keep freaking fighting. Keep fighting, keep plugging, keep chopping wood. And with the people on this team that have the hearts and drive and desire, things that change, things that turn. You just keep going and keep going and keep going, and things are bound to change. And never say die, and that's what you got to do.
You got to love them. That infectious enthusiasm when anybody's around. Beuerlein trying to keep the drive alive. Wesley Walls at the 31-yard line. The 2-minute warning is 17-7 Bills.
The sun becomes blood. Flesh-eating locusts devour the cities.
Mountain Panthers outside this gorgeous Ericsson Stadium in Charlotte. Those things are enormous, and this is a beautiful facility.
You know, after we saw that Kevin Greene thing, I'm not kidding you. Yesterday was the first time, Joe Theismann, I've ever seen you come out of an interview sweating.
Yeah, you would have too if you sat in front of Kevin. Look at it. Look at the eyes. Alone the eyes scare you. Believe me. It's the first time I think I had a sweat. No, it is the first time.
First and 10, Carolina. Kevin Greene hoping his offense can do something. Beuerlein with time going for the rocket and knocked away by Smith. 3 big plays in a row by Thomas Smith. 2 on run support, that one in coverage.
Thomas Smith sat in the room yesterday with us and said, I want them to throw the ball deep. Go ahead and throw it deep.
What he'll do is he challenges the rocket right at the line of scrimmage and then turns and goes with it. With a little pump and go. They try to go up top. Now, see him get his head around at the last second? That's a perfectly played ball. Run with the receiver. When he looks up, you look up, and then he gets that inside hand to knock it away.
Thomas Smith out of North Carolina, an excellent cover corner. 2nd and 10. Beuerlein wants the screen and almost intercepted. Sam Rogers had a touchdown and couldn't hold it. The receiver fell down, and Beuerlein got lucky.
Well, I'll tell you, Beuerlein got lucky, but Bruce Smith, and they're calling
illegal contact. Number 28 of the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
That was downfield.
That was downfield. I'm telling you, Bruce Smith read the screen. He was going to get back, and Brockemeyer just cuts his legs out. Bruce Smith, they let him get through. Brockemeyer is number 78 blocking. You see Bruce Smith on Brockemeyer here. Watch what happens. He's going to read screen. Now, I see the screen. As he comes, look at Brockemeyer. Just cuts him in the backfield.
And in that tackle box area, that is not a clip. That is legal. It's not appreciated by defensive linemen, but it's legal. And Brockemeyer's done a heck of a job on the future Hall of Famer. Lane trying to get outside, cuts it back inside the 25.
Sam Cowher he's in there because of his ability to make plays. You talk about a guy who can just flat run from sideline to sideline. No matter how far Lane wanted to stretch this outside, number 56 was going to hunt him down. Watch number 56 on the left side of your screen. They can't block him. He flows too quick. And watch him deliver the impact. It's a position he played at Florida State. Terrific run defender.
Beuerlein, Wall can't hold this one. And I will guarantee you that's because of the cast on his hand. That guy never dropped the ball.
That ball, Joe hit him in the left hand. If he gets a chance to turn around and get his right hand in there, he can catch the ball. We've already seen him catch a couple of them by turning and catching with his right hand. This ball is going to hit him where he has the cast on the left side. The ball is thrown to the outside. Watch. Hits the cast, bounces off.
Wesley Walls is as good a receiving tight end as there has been in this league in a long, long time.
He's that good with just one hand.
That's right. Mark Carrier comes in as the third wide out on 3rd and 8. Beuerlein dumps it to Johnson. Anthony Johnson down inside the 10-yard line, first down, Panthers.
That's a real nice job by the wide receivers, running real hard to take the defenders and the linebackers all the way back past the 10-yard line and allow Anthony Johnson to slide out underneath the coverage.
I said at the beginning of this game, Blake Brockemeyer, good luck blocking Bruce Smith, 78 on 78. Watch this. Is this good blocking?
Beuerlein looks downfield, sets it up nice. Anthony Johnson just slides inside.
Beuerlein over the middle. Henry Jones. Henry Jones with the interception. Intended for Carrier. But Henry Jones cut in front of the pattern, gets his 3rd interception of the season. Huge play for the strong safety.
You just can't try and force it. Beuerlein tries to get it in. Carrier's being mauled on the way out. You see what Beuerlein sees? Way too tight. just way too tight down there. He had a clear vision. Couldn't squeeze it in.
Henry Jones having a big year for the Buffalo Bills. And now with less than a minute to go, we'll see what Buffalo wants to do on offense. They start with Antoine Smith, and he'll get it out to the 22. Coming up on the Toyota halftime report, Chris Berman with the fastest 3 minutes in television. We'll take a look at the Jaguars and the Broncos, a big shootout in Denver, and we'll have Tom Jackson's analysis as well. And I'm sure you'll get to see a record-tying 63-yard field goal by Jason Elam. Clock is running, only 23 seconds to go. Buffalo in no hurry to get it off. And Flutie fumbles the snap from center. All they're trying to do is kill the clock, and they nearly made the big mistake.
And they just killed it.
That's the end of the first half. The score, Buffalo 17, Carolina 7.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. So the Bills lead at 17-7 at the half. Nobody does circle the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. Tom Jackson is with me. Into wide. Bills lead 17-7 at the half.
Pair of touchdown passes in the first half to Eric Moulds, a career-high 145 yards for the receiver.
It is called Mercury.
Welcome back to Charlotte, North Carolina. The Buffalo Bills going for their 4th win in a row and a second-place tie in the AFC East, leading the Panthers 17-7 at the end of the first half. Carolina will get the football to start the third quarter. Christie to kick to Bates. Led the league in kickoff returns 2 years in a row. Takes this one at the 1. And Buffalo did a great job of covering that kick. Hill shielded the outside, and Mark Pike, the special teams demon, in on another tackle. First half stats, a nice advantage for Buffalo, 239 to 162. And the time of possession, Carolina actually leading in that category. They have one of the worst time of possession records in the NFL. It's, in fact, they're 30th at 25 minutes and a shade over. Lane pounds it out to the 25.
You know, I said before the game that Brockamar had to block Smith, but I'll tell you, Carolina's used everybody on Bruce Smith, including a wide receiver. Ismail, watch this. Watch the guys that block Bruce. 81, that's Ismail. He gets a block. Here's Brockamar, number 78 on Bruce Smith. Bruce makes a great play going down the line. Now here's Brockamar again with Garcia. Now, Wall blocks Bruce Smith. So they're going to let everybody block him.
Beuerlein to Walls. Wesley Walls cast on his hand and all, makes another catch, his third, up to the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. Holosek was on him, and Walls comes up limping. Sam Rogers is out for Buffalo. The left outside linebacker has a pulled hamstring. He will not return. Walls limps off. Luther Broughton comes in at tight end, and they can ill afford to lose Wesley Walls. Here comes the blitz, and Fred Lane wrapped up by Brandenburg. Let's go to Solomon Wilcox.
Yeah, Mike, I talked to Dom Capers at halftime. Felt like his secondary just gave up too many big plays in that first half. Felt like the defense is doing a good job of containing Doug Flutie. He says that his cornerback, Doug Evans, should have made the interception in the end zone. And you know what, Mike? He didn't use the Cavs as an excuse. He wants Doug Evans to make those plays.
Well, it is an excuse. You know how an outstanding corner that Doug Evans is. And it's got to be extremely frustrating to him. Beuerlein off his back foot, throws behind Broughton, and Jones in coverage. And there's a flag back. It looks like it's going to be roughing the passer.
roughing the passer. Number 90 of the defense.
Phil
15
Hansen.
yards, automatic first down.
I know that there's a sensitivity to it in the league, but they've really got to take a look at that. I mean, they are penalizing defenders for just playing football. Beuerlein steps up. Hansen does this now.
Oh, no.
How is... Well, he just grabs him. He doesn't... it's his shoulder in the chest, not his head.
That is
sorry.
a terrible call.
I'm sorry. I mean, they just... they've gone so far to protect the quarterbacks, and I certainly understand it, but you've got to let these guys play football.
Look how close Hansen is when he's releasing the ball. He can't pull up. He's right in the middle of a tackle.
But the problem is he drove him into the ground, and that's what they see.
Ismail on the end around. And Gabe Northern made the play on defense.
I agree. I don't agree with what they're saying, but I'm telling you right now, Phil Hansen, it's not the hit because he doesn't hit it with the helmet, but watch him drive him into the ground. He takes a couple of steps with Beuerlein. That's what they're seeing.
Paul, he was a half step away. You have a legitimate right to hit the quarterback. That is the motion he was carrying. You can't pull off. He's got a body lean of 45 degrees when he hits the guy. That's impossible for a defensive lineman to do. Beuerlein gets this one out to Muhammad again, and he is into Buffalo territory at the 46.
That time, Bruce Smith buried Steve Beuerlein. He's getting better acquainted with each of the defensive linemen for the Buffalo Bills at this point.
Now they're stunning Bruce Smith. They got to find a way to get him free because he's getting blocked. Look at this. They go outside. He comes up inside. He's on Beuerlein. He hits him. It's the same play. I wasn't agreeing with what the official said. It's the exact same play that you just saw a moment ago with Phil Hansen. Neither one of them should be called.
Beuerlein on 3rd and 3. Throws back across the Greene, and Mohammed can't come up with this one. That may have been intended for Broughton.
Well, Steve Beuerlein only looked at 2 of his receivers. His 3rd receiver is the slot man hooking back on the left side. His progression should be the tight end to back to the right, then he should come back to a back hooking on the left. He only looked at 2 of the receivers that time and then was forced to flush himself out of the pocket.
Kevin Williams will go back to his 10-yard line for Ken Walters' punt. Another beautiful high floater. And they'll down this one. That ball will be marked back close to the 10-yard line where it was first touched. A good job by Walter to get it high and kill it deep in their territory.
It's an idea that's been around for a pretty...
...or accounts of a game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Bills leading the Panthers 17-7, 11-12 to go, 3rd quarter. Flutie and company take over at the 10. Antoine Smith cut down in the backfield.
Doug Flutie has done so many different things in the first half of this football game, different ways of delivering the ball. There's a little push pass, then you bounce one up in the air for a touchdown, then you make a perfectly thrown corner route. He's thrown every throw you can make, except here where he tries to force the play and throws the interception. Trying to do almost a little too much at times, but gosh, he's fun to watch.
Flutie, Sam Gash. Should have a first down just across the 20 where Tony Veland made the tackle.
We talked about the throwing lanes that are essential for every quarterback, and in particular for Doug Flutie. When you take a look at his pass chart, you'll see Doug Evans lives over here, so he's thrown a lot there. And you see the 4 balls that he's thrown over here. Nothing down the middle of the football field. That is what the offensive line is allowing Doug Flutie to do.
Smith protecting the ball, stopped short of the 25, Sean Gilbert, from his right defensive end spot.
You know, you talked about when Bruce Smith was on defense early part of the game, we didn't hear his name an awful lot. There's a guy on Carolina's defense who we haven't talked about a lot. That's Michael Barrow. He is the man that plays that weak side linebacker position and has really got to get involved in stopping the runs if they're going to be effective controlling Buffalo's offense.
Smith. Kevin Greene. And they'll say the ball is down. Now, Kevin Greene made that tackle. He had an interception earlier. The reason he hasn't gotten a sack or even close yet, they've been double-teaming him.
Well, when you say a guy gets a lot of sacks like Kevin Greene, he can also play the run. Watch this. He gets away from Sam Gash. He moves up inside and makes the tackle on Smith. You know, that ball comes down, and Smith is on top of Kevin Greene. And they say when you're down, the ball, you can't have a fumble if your knee hits the ground. But on that play, it just looked like he was on top of Kevin Greene when he fumbled.
Antoine Smith, the injured player, will check on him.
She's fired.
He's ice.
3rd and 6 for Buffalo. Thurman Thomas into the injured Antoine Smith. Here comes the blitz. Flutie. First down. And a flag is down at the end of the play. They're going to call roughing, I believe.
You see Jerry Ostrowski go over there and protect his quarterback? Look at Doug. He's smiling.
Well, I'll tell you, you talked about Michael Barrow has to make some plays. He went down like a rock.
Personal foul. Number 92 of the defense. 15 yards for unnecessary roughness. First down.
That's Tarek Saleh, a backup linebacker.
Well, on this play here with Flutie, first of all, he goes inside of Kevin Greene, and Michael Barrow, you'll see him, number 56. Watch this, Flutie. He just takes off runs. Here's Michael Barrow on the top of the screen. Look at him. He cuts back inside of him. He's on the ground.
I don't know about that one either.
You know, that's a terrible call.
Well, that's a tough way to lose 15 yards. Thurman Thomas gets about 3. And another flag. Monday Night Countdown tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Join Mike Tirico, Tom Jackson, and Sterling Sharp for the latest word around the league. Then at 8 on ABC, it's Monday Night Football. Cordell Stewart and the Steelers battle Andre Rison and the Chiefs. This was the same kind of play, the same kind of aftermath in the tackle. They threw the flag again, and now they're talking about it.
I don't believe it was the tackle that got the flag this time. You had Jay Riesemer, the tight end, involved in this
foul
one.
on the play. Second down. The flag was thrown, but both players were pushing and shoving, and there is no foul.
That's right. It was Jay Riesemer down the field. They were pushing and shoving. They threw a flag, and then they picked it up.
Watch number 85 and Greg Lloyd go at it. Now, there you see a punch. Let me tell you something. The officials, in my opinion, are right now losing control of this football game. They're throwing flags that should be called and picking them up, and throwing flags that shouldn't be called and assessing them.
I think you're absolutely right. Flutie, another naked boot. Riemersma to the 40. He'll be shy of the first down.
The things that Doug Flutie does to help an offense are just continual. When you have the ability like Flutie does to play fake like that and get around the outside, it forces not only Lloyd but the tackles and the inside linebackers to stay home. If you don't, he winds up with a simple completion. And all this is going to do is help out the running game. Sure, it's just 9 yards, but now the linebackers have to stay home and respect the fake.
Flutie, 11 out of 14, 202 yards passing tonight. The quick out, complete to Reed. He'll pick up a couple. Flutie has gone over the 200-yard mark for the third time in a row. In his previous starts, in his previous NFL incarnation before he was exiled to the CFL, he never had a 200-yard passing game.
Let me just say, being exiled to the CFL, being exiled someplace means you went someplace bad. The CFL is not a bad place to go. He was exiled by the league up there, right?
It snows up there all the time. He was exiled.
It does in Buffalo, too, Michael.
Not at this time of the year, it doesn't.
Thurman. A flag is down.
Dusty Ziegler, number 61, the center, is holding.
Holding. Number 61 of the offense. 10 yards. Repeat first down.
And while he was north of the border, all he did was throw for 41,000 plus. It's not a misprint. 270, count them, touchdown passes. He ran for 70 more.
See, that's not exile. He wouldn't have anybody to play with.
6 MVP titles, and he probably raised wolves during the offseason.
Yeah, but they only had 3 titles, though, CFL titles.
1st and 20 after the holding call. Screen. Thurman Thomas. Beautiful diagnosis by Jason Peter, the rookie.
Oh, Jason Peter plays this thing so perfectly, and if Thurman Thomas gets away from him, he's got at least the first down. But Jason Peter reads the screen, gets back outside, and makes the tackle on Thurman Thomas.
This defense suffered. There's Antoine Smith. It looks like he'll be able to play. This defense for Carolina has played very, very well. They have had so many injuries. Jason Peter missed all of training camp. Chuck Wiley was going to be the defensive end. He got hurt. Flutie in trouble and throws incomplete. What a job by John Fina. He said, you're not going down. Let me help.
I'll tell you, who makes Flutie pull this thing down and go the other way was Kevin Greene, because he faked a blitz and goes back to the outside. Now Flutie comes over here, and watch John Fina. Now, you're not going down yet. You got some work to do yet. Let's get him back on his feet and move around and throw the ball. That's beautiful.
Slams the brakes on Alexander, misses him. Fina helps him up. And then he has the presence of mind to avoid the sack by throwing the ball away.
After almost every play, someone in Buffalo's huddle is smiling. Flutie, a completion to the 30. Got it to Kevin Williams. They need to reach the 25 for a first down, so they'll go for the field goal.
But still, the completion of that yardage allows Wade Phillips' football team to at least have a shot at a field goal. Doug Flutie just continues to perform magic after magic. He really takes bad plays and makes them very livable, if not spectacular.
Steve Christie from 47. And he got it. Back to Charlotte after this.
Line explosion, yeah. Have you tried Mondo Mango?
Either he's dissatisfied with the team or it's the cheapest Halloween outfit ever.
Well, I saw him with the bag off. And if I were him, I'd keep the bag on.
Christie to kick it away with the Bills leading 20-7. Oliver and Bates are deep. Bates from the 10. Bates got it to the 34-yard line. Timeout on the field, 4:17 to go, third quarter, a 13-point Buffalo lead.
Get ready to fall into action.
Everybody know what to do?
Oh, yeah. Attack! This month.
Flutie flush. Throws it down. Caught by Boston.
20-7, Bills over the Panthers. 4:17 to go third quarter. Jerry Richardson, the owner of the Carolina Panthers. Beuerlein throws short and incomplete. ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. By Sprint for all the ways you communicate. And by Applebee's, America's favorite neighbor. You belong to Applebee's. Steve Beuerlein has only hit 3 of his last 8 passes. Fred Lane. Good, tough run by Fred Lane, and he'll have the first down.
Boy, we've been talking about Blake Brockemeyer blocking on Bruce Smith, 78 on 78, and this has been going on all night, folks. Watch this block. Take Bruce Smith to the outside. Lane goes back to the inside. That is an attitude for an offensive line. Now they're blocking.
And they were not sure until just a few minutes before kickoff whether Brockemeyer would be able to go with a knee injury. Lane again. Crosses the 45 to the 47 where Ted Washington dragged him down.
I think Carolina has established the fact that they can run the football now. I think they can utilize that in their passing game. It's an excellent way to pass protect the play action faking. Give Beuerlein an opportunity now to try and eat up some yards. You're down by 13 points. You're going to have to get some points on the board sooner or later. And grinding it out on the ground isn't going to get it done with a little over a quarter left.
2nd and 8 for the Panthers. Beuerlein short set. Muhammad makes the catch. He'll be 1.5 yards shy of the first down, drilled by Manny Martin, who was a big hitter at free safety.
Carolina offense has got to take some shots down the field. I know it's a West Coast offense and it's a short passing game. I still believe that you have to throw the ball down the field. Gil Haskell has been brought in here to improve the passing game, which he has. But you still have to try and do it because referees are going to call interference almost 90% of the time. They've had one pass tonight over 15 yards.
And they certainly have the speed on the outside. 3rd and short for Beuerlein. Trying to run for it. He needed to reach the 45-yard line. Sam Coward brought him down. It will totally depend on where the referee spots the ball. And it's a loose ball. Buffalo has it. And now a flag comes down.
Beuerlein tries to work himself up for the first down. The ball gets stripped out. That's a heck of a call. And here come the Bills.
We have a personal foul. Number 67 of the offensive team. 15 yards. First down, Buffalo.
Brian Stoltenberg, the starting center. It looked like Bruce Smith took the ball away from Beuerlein on the way down.
It's an idea that's been around for a pretty long time.
Steve DeBerg at 44 becomes the oldest NFL player to start a game since 1925. Jerry Rice with another NFL record in his pocket, 184 straight. And Jason Elam, a 63-yard field goal to tie Tom Dempsey's long-standing record. That was amazing.
All I can say is I haven't been very fortunate in my life because I've been able to see both of them. Tom Dempsey's 63-yarder and the one Jason Elam hit today, and it could have been 66.
The other thing is, too, is Wade Phillips is going to have a decision coming up regarding Doug Flutie or Rob Johnson. I don't really think it's going to be much of a decision. Doug Flutie has done a great job keeping this team going. When Rob Johnson is ready to play, he will be the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills.
As Thurman Thomas says, who did you pay $25 million to? He's going to be the starter. Flutie under pressure. Thurman Thomas.
He's amazing. Oh, the fake. First of all, there was a fake to Thurman Thomas. Then he hits Kevin Greene and knocks him off stride, and then he catches the ball. So Thurman Thomas does 3 things. 1, watch him to the right, 34. The fake to him, bam! bam, he'll hit Kevin Greene, knocks him inside. Now watch. Flutie gets away from Kevin Greene, and Thurman Thomas goes downfield and gets open. That's experience. Those are veteran plays.
Thomas thriving in this third down back scenario. Sam Gash, the fullback. Joe, back to your point about Johnson, I think the most pressure is going to be on Rob Johnson because he's the guy that's got to follow all this fanfare about Doug Flutie. I don't think anyone disagrees. Rob Johnson is a very good quarterback. He has a chance to be a terrific quarterback. But that's a tough situation to be in.
Well, it's not tough right now for Wade Phillips, to be perfectly honest with you, Mike. You're absolutely right. If Rob Johnson doesn't play well, and Flutie continues through this game and next week if he's not ready to play well, and then Rob struggles, then you're going to have the questions come up. Right now, they've got a perfect scenario.
2nd and 9. Thurman Thomas, touchdown. Because Antoine Smith has the sprained ankle, Thurman Thomas stays in on all downs and rips off a touchdown run.
Joe Panos, look at the blocking here. Here's Remersma kicking out. Fina gets a good block. Panos gets an excellent block. Here he comes around number 72. Watch Thurman just break this tackle of Doug Evans.
The extra point is good, and Thurman Thomas now being used as a third down back for the most part may extend his career for a long time.
Thurman Thomas still showing he has a lot of power as he breaks through. Tony Veland, number 36, is going to slice across and try and make the tackle, and he just manages to step out and get it through. Doug Evans just continues to have problems with his hand. Here comes Moulds trying to block him. Now, Evans is going to try and get away, but he really can't because he can only use the one hand.
Wade Phillips, who saw this season start so badly with 3 consecutive losses, games that they were in and did not win. And the Carolina Panthers have seen this before. Their fans, looking right down the barrel of 0-7, are leaving Ericsson Stadium.
You know, when you see Wade Phillips walking on the sideline without a headset, when they were 0-3, that was one of the things that people griped about. Why doesn't he have a headset on? Why isn't he in the game?
Jerry Richardson, another solemn evening for him. He put a lot of money into free agent signings this year and hasn't seen much of a return for it. Bates from the 5. Got to the outside. Knocked out at the 32. ESPN Sunday Night Football continues next week with a major battle in the AFC West. Tim Brown and the Raiders head to Seattle to take on Ricky Waters and the Seahawks. Join Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, and me right after prime time at 8:15 Eastern. There's a fan who's not leaving. That wasn't a sculpture either. He was real. Beuerlein throws incomplete on first down with only 20. That's an ugly looking sucker.
How do you know he's real?
I saw him move earlier.
Well, he's not moved. He hasn't moved. That could be like a new thing on that telex sign. It could be like an addition. Like, let us hop all over your work. We can get it done.
I'll tell you,
something like that.
I'd find a more comfortable home than sitting on it.
Maybe it's a good view of the game.
2nd and 10 with only 24 seconds to go, third quarter. Lane on the sweep behind Floyd. Floyd got a good block, and Lane is out of bounds. The frustration continuing to build for the Carolina Panthers because they have been so close, and Dom Capers finds that first win so elusive.
And Dom Capers talked about the character of his football team and said, hey, look, I like this football team. They've hung together. They really have. This is the second game of the year that they really have had trouble staying in the game. They've given up a lot of big plays in this game, but still the Panthers hang tough.
That's the end of the third.
Make great things happen with Great White Paint.
There's an old Kerry Collins jersey on the wall here at Erickson Stadium, and he certainly caused a controversy here when he went into Dom Capers' office, and according to Dom Capers and then the quarterbacks who he met with afterwards said his heart wasn't in it and asked out of the lineup. It led to his very rapid release, and really Dom Capers and the Panthers had no other choice. You have someone that asks out of the lineup, especially the quarterback and the leader, you can't keep him on the ball clock. Beuerlein in trouble. Hansen. Boy, did you see Hansen take him down ever so gently?
Well, this is the type of situation you get into from a quarterback where now you know that the defensive line is going to tee you off. You just can't hold the ball a long time. And the other thing is they're going to drop 7 people back. They're just rushing 4. Everybody is covered. There isn't a place for Steve to go with the football. The Rockets all covered up. Got nowhere to go over there. Jackson's all over him.
This is a good defense for the Buffalo Bills. Walter to punt to Williams. Walter does a great job of hanging those so high. Williams fair catch to 15. A 48-yard punt with no return. 14:21 to go in the game. Flutie and company up big.
Our keynote speaker holds a Ph.D. in chemistry and serves as director of our North American...
To make him proud of me. Saturn was really an extension of my own personal values. We treat all of our customers the same. And that's the way it should be.
ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Midas for quality service. Visit your neighborhood Midas today. By Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers. By AT&T, it's all within your reach. And by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. And this is a different Buffalo Bills football team from September to October. Thurman Thomas. Doug Flutie, for 3 weeks in a row, has thrown for career highs. Tonight, 245 yards. And the rating, 131.9. That is almost off the scale.
Well, you know, the one thing about this Buffalo Bills team, and I happen to live in Buffalo, Joe, is that they've been bad-mouthing the offensive line since day one. And this offensive line, as of 4 weeks ago, put it all together.
Flutie completes it to Lonnie Johnson up to the 35-yard line.
Play action provides you with such opportunities to be able to suck the linebackers up to the line of scrimmage, and it creates an automatic passing lane. Gash goes through, he turns inside. Lonnie Johnson is right outside, so that there's a perfect place for Doug Flutie to be able to make the release and throw the ball into. Here's the look from Doug's side. Who said what? What's wrong with that? You could be 5'1" and make that.
All he's done is 16 out of 20 for 262 yards. Thurman hit at the line. Richardson came flying up from his safety spot.
Well, you look at this. Look at what happens when Flutie's in there with the offensive line.
Gets sacked once every 30-plus dropbacks. And Johnson gets sacked almost one every 5. And see, Rob Johnson is a mobile quarterback.
Yes,
People don't understand. He played a lot earlier in the year when this offensive line was trying to come together, and I think he'll be a beneficiary of it when he comes back.
Jonathan Linton is the new tailback, number 35. Flag is down. The pass complete to Quinn early. We'll check the penalty.
But in all fairness, Rob Johnson, on those sacks, I'll get to it in a second,
Pass interference. Number 25 of the defense. Automatic first down.
Tarek Davis. Almost half of those sacks, Joe, was when Rob Johnson ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage, which is called a sack.
Which his offensive line really doesn't appreciate.
No, they do not.
They would prefer he throw it away somewhere. I mean, they give you that opportunity to throw it away, so you don't want to be running out of bounds behind the line, because the line don't appreciate that.
1st and 10 on the penalty. Linton. And Alexander forces him out of bounds. Let's go to Solomon Wilcott. Solomon?
Yeah, Mike, the latest marketing tool to ride the wave of Flutie mania has been the sale of Flutie Flakes. They sold nearly 50,000 boxes over the course of a 2-week span. One store sold out its entire stock in one day. The product has become so popular, they put a limit to 1 box per customer. Now the proceeds will go to benefit the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism. His son was born with autism 3 years ago. He and his wife, Lori, well, it's been a fight for them to really sell this product, but they've done really well.
And at Bristol University, that's what we have, 3 meals a day. Flutie. Shot puts this one out, complete. Sam Gash will have another first down.
This is the rolling left version of the jump pass. We've now added one other little element to the Doug Flutie highlight package, which by the time he's done, we'll have an hour special on what Doug Flutie can and cannot do. Here comes the bootleg again. Look at the linebackers flow. Now watch this. Little jump in the air, flick the ball out, and make it happen. He has been able to take his physical size and make it work for him for such a long, long period of time. Both in Chicago and New England before, he was stuck in Neanderthal offenses. This one takes advantages of his ability to move around.
Linton getting some rare work. Got down to the 46. Now, Paul, having been a longtime Buffalo resident, the fans are, even though they may not understand the football aspect of it, putting Rob Johnson back in as the quarterback, emotionally, they are attached to Doug Flutie. What's going to happen?
Well, I think Flutie has sold it to the fans. Because Flutie, everything he's ever said to the fans is, I am the backup quarterback. So he's really trying not to cause a controversy. Obviously, the fans want to see this guy play. But if you look at Rob Johnson's numbers, he's a 63% passer.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not that you got a bad guy going in there.
And it's not a dissimilar situation to what they have in Minnesota. Randall Cunningham has been absolutely spectacular. But again, Dennis Greene has made the statement up there. When Brad Johnson is healthy, he's going to go back in and play. And I got to believe that both for Dennis Greene up in Minnesota and for Wade Phillips in Buffalo, it's got to be an economic decision as well.
And for both, you're talking quarterback of the future, not just the present.
Right.
Coming up next, Sports Center, Dan Patrick and Kenny Mayne will get you caught up on the day in sports. The top stories, of course, the NFL highlights. Terrell Davis over 1,000 yards. What a remarkable achievement. And Jason Elam crushes a 63-yard field goal for a record. Followed by NFL Prime Time. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson with all the highlights of all the day's games. Buffalo working on a time-consuming drive here in the fourth quarter. Linton. 40, 35, 25. Had Brent Alexander as a passenger for the last 15.
Well, Jonathan Linton has been hurt for a few weeks, and they really, really liked him. But when you give this guy a hold, Jamie Nails, number 74 for the Buffalo Bills, is going to get a block. Jamie Nails is a whole offensive line by himself, but he gets a great block on Jeff Brady and opens the hole for Jonathan Linton.
Jamie Nails is a healthy rookie, 6'6", 354. Probably isn't done growing. Linton again. And with this win, the Buffalo Bills, who many thought were dead at 0-3, are going to tie for second place in the AFC East, and they get Miami at home next week, a chance to tie for first.
Well, Ralph Wilson's football team over the next 5 weeks plays all divisional opponents. they're going to wind up playing in the AFC East for the next month. So a lot of what this team is going to be able to do will be determined in the month of November.
Second and 9. And they'll whistle this play dead.
Play is low dead, flag down on the field.
Art, number 84, 5 yards. It's still second down.
Joe, here was what you pointed out. They'll have 3 of the 5 at home, 5 consecutive divisional opponents. And not easy.
It's never easy, but, you know, I've found that they're going to play New England twice within 3 weeks. I have found as a player preparing for games like that, it's easier because, I mean, you're familiar with everybody. You've seen everybody. It makes it a little easier on the coaches to prepare everybody. And, you know, these are teams that this football team has seen a lot of.
This drive has already eaten up 6:13 off the fourth quarter clock. This is exactly what they wanted. Nice move by Linton to cut it outside and gets down near the 26-yard line.
Well, you're watching an offensive line at work, and Reuben Brown came in yesterday to talk to us, and we asked him, you know, what has made the biggest difference in this offensive line? Why have you guys finally turned this thing around? Carl Mock. Yep. He's talking about the offensive line coach. He said Carl Mock taught us how to look at game films, how to prepare for a game, how to study, how to get yourself mentally ready.
And also, when you look at the years of experience, you know, Fina's at 7 years, Brown's at 4, Ziegler's at 3, Panos is at 5, Ostrowski's at 5. This is a team that has a chance to grow together, like the former Buffalo Bill offensive line of the championship years.
3rd and 10, they'll give it to Linton. The flag is down as Barrow makes the tackle at the 22. And this will come back on a holding call.
Holding, number 85 of the offense, 10 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
Reamersma, the tight end from Michigan. That's what being undefeated in the month of October will do for you.
The other thing about it is when you talk to these guys, that each one of those guys came in yesterday and you talked to them, including Flutie, they know they can win. You know, they went 0-3, and people talked about them. They can't win a football game. They can't do this. They can't do that. Except the guys that didn't believe it were the guys that are on the field.
That's the only ones that matter. That's right. Do believe in it.
You saw Antoine Smith on the sideline. We are told he is fine. They just didn't need him to come back in the ball game. And that's wonderful news for Buffalo. Flutie to Quinn early at the 26-yard line to bring up a 4th and long.
But again, Flutie makes a throw to get him in field goal position.
He has such total command and understanding of the game of football. Through this entire drive, he's bled the 40 and the 25-second clock down to 1 every time he snapped the ball.
Christie has already hit from 42 and 47. This is 44. And he got it. Christie, 3 field goals from better than 40 yards, and the count rises to 30-7.
Back in college, the 3 of us never missed an Indiana.
These overhead shots provided by the Southwest Airlines Aerial Cam, high above Erickson Stadium for ESPN's Sunday Night Football, where it's the Bills over the Panthers, 30-7. Buffalo now cruising to its 4th consecutive win. Christie to kick off to Bates and Winslow. Bates from the 1. Caught and dropped at the 30. Gabe Northern down on special teams. Doug Flutie with another career-high passing performance, leading the Buffalo Bills.
They were good times.
Up against their AFC West rival, the Seahawks. ESPN Sunday Night Football. Coverage begins at 8:15.
I gotta watch that game.
The bags are out at Carolina, and I can honestly tell you, I hate to see this. This is only the second game. They haven't had a chance to win until the end. These guys haven't given up. They're still playing hard. There's plenty of teams in this country that are getting shellacked every week that deserve the bags a lot more than the Carolina Panthers. These guys have really worked hard and tried hard. It just hasn't turned out for them. There's Jerry Richardson. You know how frustrated he's got to be.
The gentleman to his left is Lamar Lathan. Of course, you know how frustrated he has to be as well, being gone for the year.
Illegal use of hands to the face, number 78, 10 yards. Repeat first down.
That's Brockermeyer, who has had a wonderful game against the future Hall of Famer Bruce Smith.
Well, that time Bruce Smith had him beat to the inside, and he had to grab him.
Only 5:37 to go in the ball game. It is all Buffalo. The Panthers are falling to 0-7. Carrier with the catch over the middle up to the 40. And gang tackled there as they try to strip the ball away.
You know, people wonder why would Bruce Smith still be on a field when a game is basically decided like this? Because he wants to go after sacks. This is when you can put some sacks up for yourself. Not only Bruce, but the entire starting defensive line.
Beuerlein hangs in the pocket. Anthony Johnson gets to do about the 48 as they are in the hurry-up. Ray Jackson with the tackle. Speaking of never giving up, Kevin Greene hasn't and won't, and his teammates haven't either. Beuerlein hit from behind by Smith. Loose ball. Bruce Smith has it. And there's a penalty flag down as well.
Boy, did you hit this baby on the head.
That's why he's
now you know why he's in there. I mean, Brockermeyer did a great job with Garcia and other people in this offensive line on Bruce Smith all night long, and finally got it.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Well, illegal use of hands to the face. Number 76. We have illegal contact. Number 40 of the defense. Those penalty is offset. Replay second down.
And that wipes out the sack.
So Bruce Smith, look at him. He's looking, wait a minute, I had a sack. He's mad. Bruce Smith. Look, they had a deal going on. Garcia steps out. Bruce Smith gets around, knocks the ball away, and recovers it.
Now, after that, I don't want to block him on this play.
Well, you know he goes after. He goes after the guy in the secondary who made the illegal contact.
Beuerlein with a short set tries to throw to Muhammad and off his fingertips. Thomas Smith with the coverage. ESPN celebrates the most exciting baseball season to date this Friday at 9 Eastern with the Major League Baseball Players' Choice Awards. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Alex Rodriguez, and David Wells, just a few of the stars expected to be on hand and contend for those awards. Join Chris Berman for all the festivities Friday at 9 Eastern on ESPN. It certainly is the season to celebrate. And they'll whistle this one dead.
Brockermeyer, number 78, moves early.
Ball start. Number 78, 5 yards. Still third down.
You know, for a guy that came in and he's playing hurt,
on one leg,
not 100%, and they tested him about an hour before the game, and Blake Brockermeyer has played a terrific football game.
Had off-season surgery on both knees after the latest injuries. They said he'd be gone a month. He's back in 2 weeks and playing against one Bruce Smith. Beuerlein throws behind Carrier.
Well, the reason why he throws behind is because he has to dance around in the pocket to try and avoid rushers. And when you do that, it just throws off all the timing of the routes.
This is one time. I know you enjoyed playing quarterback.
Yep.
But this is one time in a ball game that you don't want to play quarterback. When they just tee off, they could care less about what you're doing or what you're looking at.
But more importantly than that, you look at the scoreboard. That's why I don't want to be out there at this time.
Oh, they moved again.
Movement by David Garrido. And you can understand the lack of concentration that's going on right now at this point in the game.
Ball start, number 65. 5 yards. It's still 4th down.
Well, they call it on Garcia, the left guard, but David Garrido obviously moved as well.
Oh, take a choice. Take a choice.
Nightmare is correct. 0-7 from a team that was in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago.
Beuerlein to Carrier.
Mark Carrier inside the 15-yard line.
That time Steve Beuerlein had just a little bit of time to be able to drop back in a pocket, set, and throw the football. Beuerlein, as he comes back, you know they're going to be rushing at least 4. Line does a good job. He steps up and is able to make a throw that Carrier's able to get his hands on, and then turns it on down the sidelines, gets as far as he can before he gets run out of bounds.
Beuerlein tried to draw Buffalo offside. Let's see if somebody moved early. They did.
Start, number 64. 5 yards. Still 1st down.
You know, we always talk about the home field advantage in the NFL. They had an 8-0 record in '96. They were invincible here at Ericsson Stadium. Since then, they are 2-9 at home. That's not taking advantage. 2-9, including tonight, of course. Carrier again, and got out of bounds at the 15.
I mean, that was excellent coverage by Eric Smedley. You can't cover it any better than that. Eric Smedley is number 40. Look at this coverage here. And that, I mean, he's there. Great catch, good throw.
Every one of these receivers catches the ball with their hands. They really, really work on getting themselves in a position to make a play with their hands. That was Dwight.
Dwight Stone, the former Steeler. Beuerlein continues to run the hurry up as we go inside 4 minutes. Another 4 wide receiver set. Beuerlein flush and throws it away. Carrier, the closest one to it.
Kevin Greene is looking up at that scoreboard. He's looking up at the clock. He had 6 sacks in a row coming in for just this season. Had a chance at 10. 3 from last consecutive games we're talking about. 6 sacks in consecutive games this year, 3 last year. He had a chance to go to 10, and just look at the clock, knowing to score. When Buffalo gets the ball, they're going to run.
Simon Fletcher was the guy that had the record, 10 games in a row with a sack, and he did it twice.
Never went to the Pro Bowl.
Beuerlein with a pump fake. Muhammad Smith got a hand on it.
Like Thomas Smith all night has been so close to being able to make plays. And you know, you hate to keep harping on a point, but Thomas Smith does not have a hand in a cast. Doug Evans is this type of a corner. He's a big guy. Now watch him. Just in a second, looks up. As soon as he reaches his hand up, he pulls that right arm away so that he can't make a play on the ball. If you can't get to the ball, get the receiver's hands away or arm away as quickly as you can. Doug Evans can't do that with a cast on his hand.
3rd down. Beuerlein. Carrier, touchdown.
Steve Beuerlein just keeps the play alive, as do the receivers. Wade Phillips says, hey, you know, we can't let him have it at the end like this. You never know when points are so valuable. He scrambles around, pumps once, then steps and throws. Carrier again, reaches up and snatches the ball in the end zone.
Casey for the point after. He's got it. 30-14. Buffalo over the Panthers.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with the Bowflex.
Overhead shots provided by the Southwest Airlines Aerial Cam high above Erickson Stadium for ESPN's Sunday Night Football. Carolina preparing for the onside kick. Loose, and they got it. Kennan Tatum, a backup linebacker, gets the loose ball.
You know, on an onside kick, when you're the kicking team and you know you don't have a chance at the ball, you go down and you wipe out any white shirt that you can see. And
wipe out the perfect phrase.
Exactly. You watch these guys. They go down. There's some of them that can't get the ball. Look at them. They just wipe out people.
Michael Bates actually has a shot at this ball in the air. It did cross 10 yards. Tatum makes a nice recovery on the ball on the ground.
Carolina takes over at its own 40. 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. Who knows? Beuerlein hit as he throws. And boy, Anthony Johnson had Perry all over him, and it's going to get a flag in the secondary. And now Bruce Smith is upset. It looked like Johnson was being held downfield by Marlo Perry.
Mugged, I think, might have been a better description.
First of all, I can't.
Number 58 of the defense.
Perry.
Automatic first down.
I can't believe that Beuerlein gets the ball out.
No, he looked like he was being swallowed by that rush.
Well, look at Beuerlein. Look at the people that are around Beuerlein. I mean, they're on his back. Bruce Smith is in front of him, and he still gets the ball away.
Automatic first down at the Buffalo 47. Stone couldn't hold it. On his fingertips. Holy cow, what a throw.
And that's really only the second time that they've gone down the field all night, but, you know, and it comes at a time when you say, well, the score seems to be out of hand. Any time is fine. There goes the move, the outside receiver, number 80, Stone. He just accelerates. Now watch at the end. Just can't quite catch up to it. You can't throw a ball any better than that. Let him extend, tries to catch the back end of it, couldn't quite hold on.
2nd and 10 for Carolina. Beuerlein with all day to throw. Carrier couldn't hold on, and Greer reached in, got a hand on it, wouldn't let him catch it.
Well, I just love the way Carrier reaches up and goes after the ball. He does not allow the ball to get to him. He goes out and attacks the ball when he tries to catch it.
I'll tell you another guy you better give an awful lot of credit to is Beuerlein. He has taken a beating. They are just nailing him.
There he is again, getting pounded. Watch this. He reaches out, makes the catch, or what we thought was a catch.
Now 3rd and 10. Pressure again, and they got him this time. The sack goes to Sean Price, who's coming back off a knee injury. Talk about old quarterbacks, and I do mean old.
They want to trade a 7 for a 7. I don't think so. I appreciate it, but I don't think so.
The NFL's best pregame show, Sunday. NFL Countdown every week at 11 a.m. Eastern. Join Chris Berman and the faculty at Bristol University for the only 2-hour pregame show in football. Then at 7:30, all the highlights on prime time.
He does nothing. He sees nothing.
You did get to keep that cap, didn't you?
Yep. Play golf. You'll see it next time you play golf.
That was a beauty.
Well, you'll just, you'll have to live with it for about 4 hours on a golf course. Obviously, they're in 4-down territory. They'll go for it on 4th and 13 here.
First 2 passes of this series, one was nearly a 45-yard completion, the other nearly a completion for the first down over the middle. Some of the fans still hanging around. Beuerlein needs 13, gets it to Carrier, and Carrier not only makes the catch, then he gets out of bounds. Heck of a play.
You know, Mike, you talked about over the last couple of years, one of the problems that they had with this football team was they let Carrier go a year ago. Now they brought him back.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that they found tonight is their offensive line is blocking on passes. Watch Brockemeyer, 78, still fighting Bruce Smith, knowing that it's a straight pass rush, but he gets him to the outside.
Carrier continues to work. He was somebody they let go and brought back. They wanted to get rid of their wide receivers, bring in some youth and speed, and I think that was the beginning of the problems that they had on offense.
5 catches, 100 yards for Carrier. The Rocket can't hold it. Is it intercepted? It is. Picked off in the end zone by Ray Jackson on the tip. Beuerlein thought he had a touchdown. Instead, it's a pick.
Manny Martin does a fabulous job of getting there and keeping the ball alive so that Jackson can wind up making the play. You see Jackson up against the Rocket. Now, he's trailing him. Watch on the left part of your screen. That's Manny Martin who comes in. What a terrific job by Jackson, picking it off his shoe tops. Beuerlein tries to get this thing in. Martin tips it up. Jackson puts it away.
Now only 2:51 to go. And a steady dose of Jonathan Linton coming, the tailback. Carolina has just used its second timeout. In the turnover margin, negative 1-19 since 1995. That just shows you again the value of the turnovers. And tonight, -2, that will take them to 1-20.
It's one of the things that Dom Capers stresses on his football team. We have to protect the ball. They don't have big play people on this offense. So it's a team that relies on its defense to play solid, its offense not to turn the ball over, and if they need so, to have their kicker win it at the end. And they just have not been able to protect the ball to be able to win games at any time.
Steve Beuerlein's face says it all, doesn't it?
He is a warrior.
I'll tell you what, he played a heck of a football game. And again, I'm going back one more time. Their offensive line, Carolina, did a great job.
Linton has the first down and more out to the 38-yard line. Damian Richardson makes the tackle. And speaking of offensive line, as you pointed out earlier, Buffalo's offensive line was roundly criticized when the season started. For whatever reason, whether the criticism was valid or not, they have really come together, and they can now be seen as one of the strengths of this team.
Well, they really are. And Carl Mock, again, is the offensive line coach, and he's the guy to put them together. But it stemmed all the way back to last year when they were terrible, and they really were terrible. Now, it took them a little while to put it together, but they now have a pretty good offensive line.
And one guy who can make up for some of their mistakes, not only Carl Mock, but Doug Flutie.
You change your oil every 3,000 miles, right? You don't, do you? You push it. Now you're so busy you try to squeeze another 1,000 miles out of your oil. Well, squeeze this. Just do it yourself when you have the time. Reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Anybody say insurance? It's been tested. And unlike that lazy uncle nobody really likes to talk about, it works. Quaker State. Sensible technology.
Buy a case of Quaker State and save big on these leading car care products at participating retailers.
Large cheese. Somebody order a pizza?
What can I say? It's college, so it's not like I have a ton of time or money to shop for a car. But I heard some pretty good things about Saturn's website. I could actually pick out a car, play around with options, figure out monthly payments, and Brian, my sales consultant, treated me great. Considering the first time we met was when he stopped by with my coupe.
Hi, I'm here with the Saturn. Somebody order a Saturn?
You guys are in here again? I can't believe that.
An inside look at the record-tying day in Denver and our Sunday conversation with the new man in Dodger Blue, Davey Johnson. Join me, Kenny Mayne, and Dan Patrick after Tackle Football.
Bills on top 30-14, heading for their 4th consecutive victory. And the Panthers heading for their 7th straight loss. 2 minutes left. Linton again. For up-to-date scores, stats, and analysis on all of the NFL action, log on to ESPN.com and log on to NFL.com, where for the first time you can vote via the internet to help select the 1999 Pro Bowl team. What a great job by Brockermeyer. Bad knee and all, back 2 weeks early. And he really shut down one of the legends of the game, Bruce Smith. 116 and counting for the Bills. Linton again.
You know, Mike, Doug Flutie does so many little things that make him a special quarterback. Just the simple thing of taking a snap, for example. Watch the pressure on his hand. As he moves his foot forward, which a lot of people do, you see how he stays in constant contact with the center, but look at the job that the center does, bringing the ball up, and it's perfect. The laces are perfect right there on his hand, so he doesn't have to spin it around and make a throw.
Dusty Ziegler, the center.
Those are just the little things that I think make him a very special quarterback. I'm so happy and thrilled to see Doug Flutie being given the opportunity, and a lot of credit has to go to A.J. Smith of the Buffalo Bills, who's their personnel director, pro personnel director. He believed in Doug Flutie, and it's really paid off.
So far this year, Flutie has had fewer drives, more touchdowns, and more points than his counterpart at quarterback, Rob Johnson.
You're keeping this Rob Johnson thing alive, aren't you?
Not me.
I'll tell you, in about a week, it's fixing to get really alive.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Linton again on 3rd and 6.
I liked what Doug Flutie had to say regarding his role on this football team. He said that now what I've been able to do is give Rob Johnson a chance to take the full time he needs to heal and come back 100% healthy and be ready to lead this football team. He really understands what he has to do for this football team.
Well, he only signed for $225,000. He got a $50,000 bonus. He gave half of that away as a charitable deduction
to the Jim Kelly Foundation for his son. And the other half he established the foundation for his son, Dougie Jr.
I mean, the team mascot gets 50 grand to sign, doesn't he?
That might be his next role. Doug Flutie, again, having a stellar night. Just the little things that he does. There he is throwing the ball down the field. Yeah, a little bit of luck never hurts. But then again, you can throw it end over end. Whoever said you had to throw a spiral? Then again, if you do throw a spiral, it can be a long touchdown. And why not just add a little jump pass to your repertoire? And, you know, Wade Phillips just sort of shakes his head and says, you know, the guy is really something. He is truly magical.
And with those Flutie flakes, he has created the first black market in breakfast cereal. You can't find a box.
We have them. Paul and I got ours. I'm anxious to try it, aren't you, Paul?
Oh, I can't wait.
That's the souvenir, folks.
Oh, then I won't touch him.
Career high 282 yards, 23 seconds to go. Moore will punt it away. This thing is a rocket. Oliver brought down at this 15-yard line with only 12 seconds to go in the game. A 51-yard punt, a 9-yard return. What a turnaround for Wade Phillips. From 0-3 to 4-3, tied for second in the AFC East, with a chance to play the leader next week.
And for the Carolina Panthers, you know, you got Wade Phillips and Doug Flutie enjoying a victory, but for the Carolina Panthers, what does Dom Capers now try and say to his football team? He has to rely on the character of the people that he's added to this football team to get them ready to play next week and the week after that.
Beuerlein throws, and the Rocket, doing his job to the very end, makes the catch and gets out of bounds, so they've got another play.
And that's right, folks. Number 78, Bruce Smith, is still on the field trying to get his first sack of the evening.
You know what's amazing about Smith, with those 157.5 career sacks, he has never led the NFL. I just find that remarkable.
I'll tell you, he's been hustling all night long, and he's had a tough job. Brockermeyer has done a great job. Bruce has never stopped hustling.
Well, what did he have, 19 that year that Gastineau had 22 or 19 or 25? Or Derek Thomas had 20? I mean, you know, he's always sort of been the guy, no matter what he does, it hasn't quite been there. But he will be one of the all-time greats to play that position.
Beuerlein throws, the catch made by Muhammad down to the 38-yard line, and that will do it. Our final score, Buffalo 30, Carolina 14. Coming up next, Sports Center. Dan Patrick and Kenny Mayne with a complete wrap-up of the day in sports. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Solomon Wilcox, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from Carolina. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.